welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. It is Wednesday morning. We talked about the UAE's strong response and looking for a two-state solution, and also what Zara has said about its advertorial backlash.
Of course, guys, if you want to know more, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, and as well in case you miss any episodes.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. Our top story today: the UAE says in a clear statement the only way forward from this desperate crisis in Gaza is a two-state solution.
And Zara responds to the advertorial backlash that it has faced over the past few days.
Also, the UAE's first brewery is coming to Abu Dhabi.
Sadhguru's spiritual event in Dubai draws a crowd of over 20,000 participants.
And good morning to everyone tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Sorry we're a little bit late. We had technical difficulties, but thank you so much for waiting. Before we get into our top stories, a quick question to you. Do you feel the winter blues in Dubai?
I used to. Back in the day, yes, I used to. I mean, honestly, because it just reminds me of a certain... It used to remind me of a certain time at university.
Oh, winter.
Yes, winter. Because like it was all the time during winter, we would have finals, submissions and everything. And whenever winter's there, it's just like I associated it with finals, submissions and so on. And I'm sure that Ali Baba can even agree with me on that, because we went to the same university and that was the most stressful part.
Which uni?
Yeah, we went to the American University in Dubai, and honestly, it's like it just reminded me of like, you know, like leaving the final, going out, and everyone sitting in the E area. There's like E area, A area, C area, and all of these things, and just like leaving and just seeing everyone. And I probably didn't do well in the exam, so I would leave and think like, oh my god.
Well, you're out of uni now.
Yes,
maybe you
perfect.
need to change the mindset.
I mean, yeah, I don't anymore. Honestly, even after graduating university, I would still feel the energy, you know, and I would text my friends like, oh my god, do you guys feel the energy of finals? And they'd be like, Farah, are you crazy? We don't, but like, yeah, do you?
Yeah, no, it's so funny because at this time of year, I feel like, you know, the summer's finally passed, and there's like a relief that we can all just like get out, enjoy the sunshine. It's beautiful days for the next 6 months of the year. Like, we're so blessed. However, you do find like the darker mornings.
Yeah.
So if you guys are on the way to work now, like, are you seeing 6 a.m.? It's a lot darker now than it was in summer. So there's kind of like a flip on good side on both coins, I guess, that like in the summer, my phrasing, in the summer, you've got like sunshine early in the morning, but then it's heat. So it's really hard to get outside. But in the winter, it's a little bit dark in the morning, but the days are just beautiful, and you can spend your whole day outside if your job permits.
Do you actually get winter blues?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I feel like maybe if you are born in Dubai, maybe you do get like, you know, like winter blues and everything, because like I'm used to summer. I'm a summer girl, you know. I hate the AC. I hate the cold. I hate everything I hated everything related to winter. Now I like the fashion, the winter fashion. So I'm like, I don't mind it, actually.
I don't think winter blues exist in Dubai the way they do in other countries. In other countries, for example, when winter comes, it means dark days from 4 or 5 p.m. It means cold. It means you're literally not outside for the whole of winter. Your heating's up, heating bills skyrocket. That's what winter is. And we don't have that here. Our winter is sunny days at the beach.
But see,
this is totally different.
Yeah, but see, you think that, right? However, like for me, I'm born in Dubai, right? So the winter to me, it's like, oh my god, it's freezing, and you'll see me wearing the thickest jacket and socks and boots and everything, and then you see like someone else who is from the UK or from the US or from a European country, they're probably looking at me like, oh my god, what is this girl doing to herself?
No, we all wrap up in the office.
Yes.
But I don't know. It means we can be outside in the sun. I'm here for it.
I mean, honestly, just tell us, guys, do you wrap up during winter, and do you get even winter blues?
All right, let's jump into our top stories. It's 8:51. Wow, what a day it is. It's Wednesday morning, and our top stories for you today. The only way forward from the desperate crisis is a two-state solution. So speaking in New York, the UAE emphasized its commitment to the Palestinian people. Ambassador Lana Nusseibeh, Assistant Minister for Political Affairs and Permanent Representative to the UN from the UAE, said the UAE is committed to its continued support of the Palestinian people. Looking ahead, we confirm that our contribution to any reconstruction effort in Gaza will be conditional on the existence of an unambiguous commitment backed by tangible steps to launch a concrete plan to achieve the two-state solution with a viable, independent and sovereign Palestinian state in line with the relevant UN security resolutions and negotiated between the two parties in full international backing.
She as well continued, saying, having just returned from a UAE-organized visit to Rafah border with Gaza, where alongside 15 current and incoming UN security officials, we learned firsthand about the scale of the devastation in Gaza. Our immediate priority is to end the violence and protect the civilian Palestinian population there. We will continue to demand an urgent humanitarian ceasefire to end the bloodshed and to facilitate the immediate, safe, sustainable and unhindered delivery of relief and humanitarian aid, particularly to the most vulnerable, including the sick, children, the elderly and women.
Last night, a landslide vote at the UN General Assembly voted to demand a humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. 153 members voting in favour, 10 voting against and 23 countries choosing to abstain from this vote. Among those who voted against were the US, Israel and 8 other countries. They voted against the ceasefire resolution while the President of the US, Joe Biden, however, showed that their support is waning and said Israel will need to change their hardline tactics. We can only hope the right decisions are made by the people in power and that the people in Gaza will soon be free. Let's jump into our next story.
All right, well, in line of what's happening in Gaza and as well in line of what we talked about yesterday, which is the boycotting, Zara responds to the advertorial backlash that it's faced over the past few days over its campaign. Now, in light of our news about the boycotting, as said, residents have joined Zara to the last as days after its Atelier campaign, which featured a model amid the rubble, limbless statues and mannequins wrapped in white cloth, and plastic sparked outrage online, of course. Now, the Spanish retailer backtracked and removed it.
However, they've released a statement. They say it represents a series of images of unfinished sculptures, so not rubble, in a sculpture studio, and the campaign was created to showcase a handmade garment in its artistic context.
Now, of course, in a release statement, Zara's designer has, quote, said the campaign called The Jacket was conceived in July and photographed in September, the month before Israel's bombing campaign that happened and invasion of Gaza. Unfortunately, some customers felt offended by these images, which have been now removed, and saw in them something from far from what was intended to be when it was created, of course. So honestly, Casey, what do you think of the statement?
When I think of the statement, I think that this is the second time there's been a major advertorial blunder. So we had the Marks and Spencers,
yes.
Now we have Zara. They've come out with a statement which is believable because in the reality in terms of if we actually thought that they went out to do this intentionally, that reality is kind of incomprehensible to me.
Yes.
So while it's believable, I think that they actually owe the public more because clearly people were triggered. Regardless of what the intention was, this is what we saw. So they kind of need to read the room.
Yeah.
And I think that with their statement, I feel like there could be they could give a little bit more information. Like if you say it was in July, why not prove it?
Yeah.
Why not, have someone come out and say, look, I actually support Gaza. I was involved in this campaign. It happened in July. Like, put a human there. And I think that we'd be able to empathize more with the situation. I feel like I do believe, Zara, that it wasn't intended, but I just think that more could have been done to empathize with a triggered population.
I mean, honestly, I do agree with you. And as we've discussed it before going live on the show, we did say they could just show as a draft. It's like, okay, see, we have that idea drafted a long time ago. So it's all fine. we didn't mean to just like offend a lot of people, but as well, maybe they shouldn't have posted the campaign, considering the fact that, you know, Gaza was going through a lot.
The thing is, it's the very same thing that happened, 2 or 3 months back.
Yes.
And they say the campaign is shot and it goes live. However, I remember seeing, just 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I remember seeing people calling out Zara and then scrolling down and the ads were still live. And I'm thinking, you have a massive issue here in terms of a public and you just need to remove and react immediately. Now they have issued the response and we'll see how people will respond to it as it goes forward. But as we are now, they have issued their response and we'll see how people take it from there.
I mean, honestly, let's see what Zara's going to do.
So we're going to jump into our next story, which is also causing a stir. The UAE's first brewery is coming to Abu Dhabi. So in news you weren't expecting, Side Hustle Brews and Spirits will be the first company in the UAE to legally produce alcohol. This is a microbrewery and gastropub. It will be located in Galleria Al Maria Island, and it will produce its recognizable labels, which actually feature local fauna.
Until now, all of Side Hustle brews were conducted in the United States, but with the recent liberalization of alcohol licensing regulations in Abu Dhabi, Side Hustle has seized the opportunity to establish its own brewery in the Emirates.
And no doubt following this, we'll see more of that to come, I imagine, as in if the licensing has now enabled companies to do it, we'll probably see more than Side Hustle, because obviously import-export fees are costly. And there's a big debate on that on our Instagram feed if you'd like to check it out.
Of course, and as well in other news, do you like meditation?
Do I like meditation?
Yeah, do you meditate?
Do I meditate? No, I don't meditate. I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to think like, you know, I'd love to wake up and journal and then be able to get into a completely zen, peaceful state of mind. Is that possible? Like, unless you're a guru, is that possible?
It is actually, you know, I do that. You know, by the way, I feel like, you know, you are meditating throughout your day, whether the music that you're listening to, and the words that you listen to, and the words that you tell yourself, which is actually something that I'm really interested in. And it's actually something I think I encourage everyone to maybe look more into, because you can just like wake up and be like, oh, I'm gonna have a good day, and then you will actually have a good day.
But sorry, when you say meditate, I imagine you mean sitting down in a dark room, maybe it's yoga, and just kind of going in on my thoughts and trying to, I thought meditate means like remove all kind of conscious thoughts, so you're a one being.
Yes.
Is that what you mean, or different?
Honestly, I feel like meditation is like, it's a very big word. It's a very broad word that can be, you know, can be a lot of things that are subtitles like underneath it, whether it is the thoughts that you tell yourself or the words that you tell yourself. And as well, aside from all of that, there is, as you said, like the big meditation, I would say, act that you can have, as you just said, which is go into a dark room, sit just to gather your thoughts and just collect them all. So guys, in line of that, 20,000 people gathered for Sadhguru's spiritual event, which was honestly a very nice event. Over, as mentioned, 20,000 people filled up the Coca-Cola Arena in Dubai to meet and mingle and meditate with Sadhguru, making it UAE's largest meditation program till date. This
was incredible, the visuals that we saw. People are obviously aware of Sadhguru. He's been teaching yoga since 1982. He is the author of the New York Times best-selling book, Inner Engineering, A Yogi's Guide to Joy and Karma, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Destiny, and also a frequent speaker at international forums.
Sadhguru's guided participants focusing on achieving inner transformation, spiritual growth, and discovering one's natural side of inner peace and harmony. Now, the event has attracted people of various faiths and nationalities, reflecting the teachings imparted by the spiritual leader.
So if you saw the footage, basically thousands of people getting together for a transformative event into what they actually created was a sacred space for self-discovery as attendees engross themselves in spiritual practices which basically included teachings of yoga, meditation, and self-inquiry.
Now, one of the highlights of the event was a spiritual musical concert held at the venue. And while meditating, attendees felt peaceful and were in deep thought with the serenading music and as well inspiring talks. The mix of music and spirituality made the place perfect for discovering more about oneself and exploring inner peace. Yes, honestly, see, this just like as well, honestly, this just gives I would say maybe a background of like how actually music can be very, grounding and very nice.
I just think for people, everyone find that thing that works for them.
Yes.
So I was at an event in Coca-Cola Marina 3 years ago-ish, and it was Tony Robbins. And he has a different way for people to do their self-discovery, self-exploration, growth and improvement.
Yeah.
And I think that whatever works for you. So if you can heal through self-discovery, meditation, amazing. If you need an entrepreneurial mindset book to help you do it, if you don't even think about these things, you can go about your daily life without even thinking about them, that's great. But I think, or of course, there's religion, but it's like, that's separate. But what works for you to do that personal growth? But usually people do need to find something.
That's true, by the way, because what might work for me might not work for you, might not work for the person that's, from everyone who is viewing us right now. So as long as you find what actually works for you and you stick by it, it just works. For example, what I found, what worked for me is honestly walking. What I think is very meditative for me is walking, listening to good music while I'm walking and just like disconnecting from everyone, just sitting with myself and just not talking to anyone, which is very cool, as well as I find that journaling has been really good for me.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it is actually cool. So tell us, guys, like, what is a meditative, let's say, act that just like puts you together and just grounds you,
Or what's your thing that you do to just feel like you're totally escaping? Alibaba, Masa, Hesham, what are your thoughts on that?
Do you guys meditate? Oh yeah,
Ali
see,
Ali
prays. By the way, prayer as well is like. It's part of meditation. Actually, all religions, as we've said in our news right now, is that people of all religions and all faiths actually have attended, right? So this just like proves that we are all connected to one source.
Yeah, I think prayer is probably the biggest blanket of comfort that people have in terms of meditative state. But aside from that, I don't know if I have anything. I think I put on different types of podcasts.
Yeah.
So whether it's like if I'm in a city, I'll either listen to something that's really silly and stupid and funny, or something that's like more business mindset or something. So like depending on the day, I either want to be like, I'm going to grow as a human, or I would just want to get deep into a comedy show that's just going to make me laugh and feel like I'm talking to my friends.
Yes. Honestly, see, like again, this, if it works for you, and if you think that this is helping you, let's say, develop your personality, your ideas, and just like ground you and put it together, because like you don't want to be in a state of fight or flight all the time, right? So if this puts you like in a grounding state, sure.
Whatever works for you guys. We'd love to get your thoughts on that. Hey, look, it's coming up towards the holidays. The city is so busy right now. I don't know about you guys, but it feels like the busiest time of year.
Yes.
So keep sending us your visuals of like seeing the city at the moment. We love the Christmas trees that are coming through on DMs and so much more. But I think that's all we have time for on the Lovin Dubai show this morning. We're back with you tomorrow morning, and we're going to have Larko in studio with us. He's a British rapper doing amazing things. So we can't wait to have him on. But that's all. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.